Hi,
afternoon.
you guys. Back with more morning steam. Hello.
Yeah, this is Nikki. She's a Seattle Seahawk fan.
Today. All right. No, good to see you. Back for another day. We're going to have a lot of sports to cover today. We could have a lot of discussion. We got so many games we got to cover. We could, start with a little review, but I don't know if it's, other than the NBA being opening night, I didn't think the hockey was. We did good as our consensus plays that seemed to fare very well. Um, did you think that the baseball was the marquee, or did you like the basketball?
Yesterday I actually kind of preferred, basketball just because I think the way it was timed out, plus the Yankees won, pretty big, so I was kind of looking forward to see how, the NBA years would start off. And I don't think that they disappointed, other than I think maybe the Lakers disappointed a little bit. They are probably what they were last year, and I was hoping maybe they'd be a little bit better, give them a little bit more competition. But Curry they just look too good, too fast, too sharp for that team. And the same thing, I don't think the Celtics, Sixers, Celtics kind of started running away with it late, but also thought that was a pretty competitive matchup through three. So I thought it was good. And unfortunately, my friend Yu Darvish, didn't come through. I think it's like his first time in about 7 starts he didn't win.
Well, we did nail the first basketball game. I thought, we called Boston, and like I
Oh
said, a
yeah.
lot of people were kind of shifting towards Philly. The line was kind of shifting towards Philly, but we went on Boston in that game and came out
Hmm.
well in that one. I had a premium on the over, and
Right.
we also nailed the Lakers and Warriors on the show. I had the Warriors, and so did Tony. I noticed as well, and you called the over, and even though I had a premium on the under, and I thought I was a little bit comfortable, but yeah, the
Yeah, that
Warriors
fourth
just
quarter,
went
it
off.
went lights out.
Right. And just what you might see from the Lakers. Look, I mean, here we are. I was starting a show with the Lakers, but uh, yeah, it's a train wreck certainly at this point. Now, granted, they might be playing the best team in the league still.
Well,
So,
true.
but the Warriors seem to be almost improved to a certain extent with some of their, right? I mean, they have some high priced talent and seem to surround those high priced players with talented players. The Lakers, yeah, okay, maybe those high talented uh, dollars guys are getting a little bit more money, especially we'll talk about the Westbrook salary, but they don't have the same type of supporting cast. Maybe it comes down to coaching an organization. The Warriors right now, I mean, okay, throw in a jumble with some of these other teams, but it's still the Warriors. They're the ones that got those rings last night.
Yeah, and I had the Warriors on a premium there too. You had to get a little bit nervous when you have the Lakers going on a 22-3 run. But that's because guys were out sitting and stuff too, I think. And when you're up 20, 30 points in the game, you kind of tend to let down a little bit. So I mean, I think if it was more competitive, they would have went you know uh, back and forth a lot more in that game. But yeah, kind of let the Lakers get into it there for a little bit. I mean, they got it down to like within 13 or so with about 5 minutes to go. So yeah, I thought it was good. It was worth staying up late for.
Well, and you made the call on the Yankees yesterday as well. So never in it. Maybe they ended up starting the wrong guy. Uh, I don't know. Cleveland, I thought they had a managerial edge, and they kind of end up botching it there towards the end. But the Yankees, we'll talk about them. We'll get right into baseball right away, and after we go over the website. But apparently, they were yeah, tapping a little champagne last night, well into the past the midnight hour. But while they were heading to the airport, I don't know. Maybe I don't think on the plane. They probably stopped by
Who
then,
knows?
but apparently they had a few bottles of champagne to drink on their way to tomorrow's game. So I don't know. Some people
I'm
fare
sure they're
better than others.
trained professional drinkers. So they should be
Yeah,
okay.
well, you're right. A guy like those athletes have a better chance of making it playing a game the next day than I would, I guess. So, uh, yeah, but we'll see. I mean, still, no matter what, whether they were partying or not, still the rain out causes them to go into the back to back basically situation, which is not unprecedented in the playoffs, but rarely happens. But again, it's all because of the condensed schedule at the end. And hockey, also, we fared
Oh
well
yeah,
with our consensus
yeah,
with
we're off to a
2-1.
really nice start in hockey.
Yeah, oh, yeah, this season, right?
Yeah, yeah, we're off to a really nice start. Yeah.
Let's go over to the website, take a look, head on over to our website, tonyspicks.com. There you'll find our premium picks. Absolutely our best picks each and every day over at Tony's Picks. Let's take a look. And Nick continues to be red hot right now. Sam's on top of the 30-day leaderboard, 1,500 units. And well, how about that? We've made a re-debut on the year-long leaderboard as well, Mindy. So don't forget, you can get all of our picks over at Tony's Picks, the consensus picks that we present to you here on the morning steam. Mindy and I come together, handicap the card, and any matchup that we agree on, we packages up and resell it over at Tony's Picks. But everyone's here to see what we can give to them for free, Mindy. Big card. What do you expect to have today?
Yeah. So I have quite a few. I think I have 4 or so in the NBA. I think I have either 1 or 2 in um, the National Hockey League, and then I have 1 for sure here tonight in Major League Baseball. And I don't recall if I have the football game yet or not. So I know I did not put it in the system, but I'll have to go back and check because we did that a couple days ago. So.
Yeah. And
And
you
let me
got
get my dog. They're blowing my sprinklers out because it's freezing here. So I'll be right back.
Okay, I'll go ahead and talk about Mindy while she's gone and talk about her packages over there at tonyspicks.com. You see, she has some guaranteed best bets today over there as well. And it was a great segue that she gave into the preparation for today's card. Massive card we're going to look at, including all those. Basketball games, a dozen NBA games, the 2 baseball games, 3 on the ice, and then we'll talk about 7 more football games for Saturday. And as Mindy said, there is one game tonight in college football that we previewed on Monday. If you want to get our pick or Tony's pick, for example, the videos, so you can go on to Tony's Picks YouTube page, and he has the videos there, our videos there from tonight's game, Georgia State and Appalachian State. So anybody looking for a preview on that game, we did it on Monday, and it's over there on the Tony's Picks YouTube channel. So, all right, we could spend a little more time maybe taking a look at the homepage and see what everybody else is offering today, but we got to get into the show because there's so many picks, but we will take a look at those best bets. Nick's got a couple. Tiffany's got hers up there already. Collins, Ben, and the GM, everyone's raring to go with their best bets today, and also 3-packs locked and loaded for Wednesday night action. Big card, big slate. Head on over to tonyspicks.com and use the promo code TonyT at checkout. Save 20% off all premium pick packages. Don't forget our $15 picks as well, introductory and discount offers from our cappers over at Tony's Picks. So pretty good day on the leaderboard yesterday over at Tony's Picks. We got to go and get going with these games, Mindy, unless you got anything else on the agenda from last night.
No, it was just that we, again, at Tony's Picks had a lot of folks there on the whole leaderboard. If you would open that up, it only shows the top 5 there.
Oh, okay.
But everyone had a really, a really good day too. So it's always nice when, you can find your favorite capper and win some cash.
Fair enough. Take a look at the damage done on the day leaderboard yesterday. We got a dozen accounts over there, and
Yeah.
8 of them show up there, including our morning steam team 3-1 yesterday. The GM 2-0, Mindy with a 3-1 mark yesterday. Ben Collins 2-0 as well. Tiffany 5-3. Good numbers by everyone there. Ramon 3-3. Uh, Ramon 3-3 had the loser with the
Just the juice got you, right?
yeah. Well, probably should have played the Phillies.
All right, you could have got the plus 103 on that one. That's the only reason why you got there, the
Yeah.
same records, but it looks like got it maybe at 102 with the
Well, you
203
mentioned
money.
Darvish. Thanks for not talking too much about the game so far, because we'll have to get right into it with our first game, anyways. So I'll have to dwell on the Padres' lack of offense a little bit now as
They
we
had
get
chances, man. They had chances.
rolling with the show. Yeah, and then even so, you're the kind of saying, what are they doing? Taking Wheeler out of the game after he'd been so solid. And I kind of didn't disagree necessarily. I mean, you play your whole career to get a chance in the postseason, right? I mean,
Yep.
that's the moment I've worked since I was a kid. If I can go 8 innings or further in that game, I mean,
Feel like
I'm
I'm
willing
doing
to risk my career for. I'm willing to risk anything that could happen to my arm, my body, whatever. This is the moment I've been waiting for my whole life. I think I
right.
want to be in that game. No criticism of the hot manager of the Philadelphia Phillies, but that's the one I always think about. Is you that's the moment. That is your moment. There's nowhere else to go. There are more games
Well,
for the
there's never
Phillies.
any guarantee that you're ever going to get back to that spot
Never,
in your
ever, ever,
career.
ever, ever
So,
any guarantee, Mindy. All right. But today, Phillies and Nola be facing his brother possibly here in this one. The Padres with Snell. And we talked about yesterday on the show. I boasted about Harper and how hot he's been, and he hit a bomb. And it was Snell that, remember, broke Harper's hand with a pitch earlier in the season. Seems like Bryce Harper's healed up pretty well.
yeah, I think so. And make sure you guys go ahead and get in the chat. Let us know how you did yesterday. Give us your rundown of what you think the, predictions are going to be here today
Yeah,
as
where is
well.
everybody?
I know. No one said good morning yet. I mean, I'm feeling like a little, left out.
Okay.
But yeah, Nola, he's only allowed 1 run in 7 innings, striking out 10 versus the Padres this season. Snell allowed, 3 home runs, 4 earned in his one outing. I just think Nola, he's just kind of been on fire. During those 12 innings, he, only given up 1 run here. In the playoffs for a guy that hadn't really been there much. And then Snell, he's 0-3, 4.9 run in the past. I thought San Diego's spot was going to be yesterday. Don't really like him here. I think I'm going to go Philadelphia again on this one. A little bit of maybe plus money odds here, depending on how this goes.
Yeah, well, I'm going to agree with you. I think in this one, I think Nola, look, the Padres, Wheeler was great, but Padres could not produce. They couldn't manufacture, and that worries me moving forward. So, I think we'll see another low-scoring game. I mean, I flubbed that one up. I thought, with the uh, I thought the Padres would be able to produce some runs. I thought the Phillies would produce more runs too, and they certainly hit the ball hard. I mean, wow. I mean, we saw how about that shot by Schwarber? I mean, they were
Right.
breaking all kinds of Statcast, farthest home run in Petco, hardest hit ball of the season for him, 4th hardest hit ball in Petco, whatever it was. I mean, they were talking all kinds of things about Schwarber's hit, and we saw Bryce Harper's reaction was hilarious when he saw that ball going out. Phillies playing pretty good. Padres, they had that moment and late in the game, especially the Phillies. That defense, that's the only concern I would say about the Phillies right now. They seem to make a key mistake on defense every game, but I think here at even money, I'm willing to take him. I think Snell could do well as well. He's been pitching pretty well. I thought, considering what his trajectory looked like throughout part of the season where you weren't sure if Snell could ever return to any kind of form that he had. But towards the end of the season, he kind of looked like Blake Snell of old. But I think Nola comes in also looking really, really sharp. Low scoring game here. Phillies for me. Phillies for Mindy. Oh, gosh.
Yeah, I mean Snell, I thought had a lot of command with his breaking ball, hitting the black corners of the plate. Thought he looked pretty good. And congrats to Jerry there. He took Bryce Harper plus 350 home
Really?
run. Nice. That's the way to get it done.
Get that on there. Oh, okay. Yeah, let's pop that up there. All right, we got people chiming in finally to say hello.
Right. I mean, we get worried about you guys if you're not there. I was like, Crush Diamonds. I mean, like, where have you been? We feel like been missing us.
Consensus play there for us, and don't tell anybody. No one in town here is watching this show. It just goes out to the rest of the world on YouTube. None of my friends or family are watching here in San Diego.
As Ramon's secretly going to put money on San Diego, as we know.
All right, we talked a little bit about the Yankees situation with their clinching game. They celebrated a little bit long, but they're entitled, and they're going to go right to Houston and go against Verlander. And Verlander, coming off one of his roughest starts of the season, no doubt, in this one. So, again, Yankees, no matter how you look at it, I'm not making fun of them partying a little bit too long. They still had to get right on a plane and get right to Houston. So, what do you think? Can Verlander bounce back against this monster lineup?
I say yes. Verlander went 7 innings last time, 4 hits, only gave up 1 run versus the Yankees. On the opposing side there with the Yankees, gave up 10 hits over 5.2 innings and 2 home runs. And I think that's going to be, again, how this is going to look. I think Houston's offense here is going to be able to, unfortunately, get the Yankees in this one. Still only averaging about, 180 offensively overall. Again, it's going to come down to the long ball. I think Verlander is going to be able to hold this offense down today. It's a little bit different, playing in Houston than it is in New York as well. But I think it's going to be a close one. I don't see anyone necessarily running away with this, so I don't really feel comfortable doing anything on the run line. I'm just going to take Houston straight up here on the money line, minus 185.
All right. And I know that Houston's been a monster under team this year, and Verlander's had some incredible starts, an incredible year again. But I kind of agree that, Houston will be able to produce. And I'm going to, play a hunch that, the Yankees can be ready and alert for the game, maybe fading the public a little bit. I think it'll be a popular storyline today when previewing the game about the Yankees winning, going up against Verlander. Will they be, totally dead in the water? But I'm going to go over in the game with the Yankees and Houston with Verlander. Not a question of his ability to come through with a big performance, but all of a sudden at the end of the year, he's had maybe 1.5 games of not so Verlander like, and now he's going up against the mighty Yankees. I'll still say it, even though it's a lot of swinging and missing, hit or miss, home run or miss, if you will. So,
but they didn't get to the spot for no reason, right?
This is the matchup that all due respect to Seattle and Cleveland and all the teams, but this is the Yankees and Houston. Houston's been here 6 straight times now, and the Yankees have those big bats, those big salaries, and this is what everybody. I'm not saying everybody wanted. This is what you get when you get this at this point of the season. All right. That's a look at Major League Baseball for today. And one consensus play was on Philadelphia. All right. Well, we got a lot of basketball, Mindy. A lot of basketball.
I know.
Cover after
we had 2 yesterday. We have to get the rest of the slate going here.
Well, yeah, 12 games on tap in the NBA, and we'll cover those. We'll start it off with the Wizards and the Pacers. Let me call up the odds, too. These were entered in by me about 2 hours or so ago. So we'll get to see if there's been any moves. And yes, indeed, this one's already moved lower. I'm showing Washington -1, 226.5.
Yeah, so again, we have a lot of games to get through. I'm going to go through these kind of fast. If you have anything else that you need or more explanation, just let us know. But yeah, I mean, I like the Pacers here in this one. Last season, these two teams split the 4 games with both of them winning their games on their home court. Wizards are 0-5-1 in the last 6 meetings in Indiana. I'll take the Pacers.
Yeah, I think I'm going to agree with you here. I mean, I like Halliburton. I like Turner in this lineup today against Washington. Look, I know, Porzingis probably can have a strong game. I think we might be looking to the totals definitely moved lower, like I said. So, uh, Crush says he likes it over, and I do too. It worries me though that the total has moved to the low side. I think there is some value there. 6 of the last 7. Mindy mentioned that Washington has struggled at Indy with that 0-5-1 spread record. 6 of the last 7 meetings have gone over. I think it favors Indiana. Look. Kuzma, Beal, they might put some points up too, but I like Indy's lineup here in this one, and I think they can just win the game and they're getting a point. Let's take a consensus look at this one with the
Let's do
Pacers.
it. All right.
All right.
Consensus play.
Yeah. Well, that's good because, we won yesterday. So,
Yeah.
all right. All right, Magic and the Pistons. This one's holding tight. Pistons 3.5. Total 217. That was down from an opener of 218.
Yeah. So you have, Magic with the number 1 pick of the draft last year.
Ooh.
Also got Mr. Cade Cunningham in their lineup. So they should have a pretty nice offense this year. Magic's also a really young team. And if you take a look at how they played in the preseason, the Magic, they had the better free throw percentage, field goal percentage, 3-point percentage, more assists, more rebounds. I like the Magic here in this spot. I'll take them plus 3.5.
Yeah, I'll be interested to see how Banchero. He's one of those guys that you look at him and what he did was awesome, exciting every time. But will his game transfer to the NBA? I think he'll be just fine. Do like Detroit's. I don't know, improvement. I think we made some good plays with them last year. You mentioned Cunningham, Sadiq
Oh yeah,
Bey. I mean,
Tony talked about the backcourt about every other show. I mean,
yeah.
he was always real impressed with them.
And Detroit's done well in this series. They've covered 8 of the last 11 meetings, including 5-1 at home. The series does have a tendency to go over 4-1 the last 5 meetings and 5-2 the last 7 meetings here. They meet as Eastern Conference teams a little more frequently. I'm going to go over 217 in this one. Mindy's on the Magic in that one. All right, Knicks and Grizzlies, and I'm showing this one down to 4.5 now, and the total is 226. But it looks like the Knicks are taking some early money here, down to 4.5 from 5.5. And in fact, this line was as high as 7.5 when it originally opened,
Jeez.
well before the season.
Yeah, I mean, Grizzlies swept the series a year ago. Knicks here, they're probably looking for improved guard play. Memphis was second in scoring and have most of their players back. They still have that nice core. They're also at home. Grizzlies are 5-2 in the last 7 overall. I'm looking at the Grizzlies here, minus 4.5.
Yeah, I kind of like the Grizzlies as well in the game, but I don't know. I'm not so sure. We're definitely getting a good price on it at 4.5. That seems to be a bit of a bargain, I would think. But for me, I think, look, you mentioned the series last year, and in fact, 5 straight meetings have gone over between the two teams, and 15 of the last 20 in Memphis when these two teams have met. They only meet there once a year. That's a long-term trend, but I think there will be scoring in this game. You see the total is high at 226 there. Uh, I don't know. Scoring was out of control a little bit last night. We'll see if it translates league wide. I'm not totally sure, but I'm going to go over as my free play here. And Mindy's on Memphis. Thank you for your comments, everyone in the chat. Crush is on the Knickerbockers. Mindy, got a not a consensus with the Crush there. Good to see Crush join us today. All right. Pelicans and the Nets. The Nets are a 3-point favorite, total 230.5. Early line had Brooklyn as a pick 'em, but firmly a favorite now in this one.
Yeah, I mean, Pelicans had, a pretty fun run in the postseason last year. Beat the Spurs and the Clippers. Nets, on the other hand, they were swept in the postseason. They do own a narrow 2-game, lead in this series and have won, the last 7 straight here as well. I just think it's one of those that, perhaps, the Nets backcourt might be, a little bit, maybe, I don't know, too much in this one, I'm thinking. They're 4-1 in their last 5 in Brooklyn, also 23-5 in their last 28 meetings. I don't know. I'm just going to take a look at, I think the over here in this one. I'm having a hard time on deciding a side. I'm going to take the over. The over is 4-1 to the Pelicans. Overall in the series, it's 11-4. And then also over in like the Nets, like 10 of last 15 games. So I'm going to go over the 230 total here.
Yeah, Mindy, it worries me because it's all the way up to 230.5. We maybe could have 226 in it, but that's not even an opening line from last night. I mean, that's just where it opened, but it does look to me like it, should go over. I mean, you mentioned this looks like a Kyrie Irving game. This looks like Kyrie's game right here. I really do. I mean, you mentioned the, Knicks backcourt. He could go off in this game. We know KD is going to have a strong game, I would think. And New Orleans got, with CJ, I think CJ can score in this one with Ingram. I mean, I like the New Orleans lineup as well. I think Brooklyn can win this game. I think, I don't know. Either way, I was probably, if you were with Brooklyn, I was going to say yes. If you were with over, I was going to say yes, because that's what I think I'm leaning. But I think I like the over maybe a little bit better. Again, I just think, Kyrie will have a big game. Bothers me New Orleans 1-7 against the spread last 8 meetings against Brooklyn, including 0-4 against the spread at Brooklyn. I think you might have mentioned so. But yeah, and also, how about long term? You mentioned all those trends to the over. How about the series itself? 23-5 to the over last 28 meetings. Now those are kind of infrequent, but I like the over in this one. Let's have a consensus play on that one. Yeah. On the over 230.5.
230.
Pelicans and Nets. Crush is ready to have Kyrie go off. Give out some props maybe on that one. Again, remember Kyrie had to sit all those home games last year.
We don't have to worry about the COVID so much.
All right. Continuing on, let me see here with the Cavs and the Raptors are next in this one. And the Raptors are favored here by 2.5. Total is 214.5. Raptors are favored by as much as 5 in the early look aheads before the season, but now just 2.5-point favorite.
I like the Raptors here today. I mean, Cleveland looks better offensively. Should have that nice, backcourt this season again. But, Raptors, I know they need to shoot from the field better. They did well in the preseason. I think they really stepped up their game defensively here also. They had 38 rebounds, 11 steals in those preseason games. And we know that those turnovers lead to points here. I think as long as the Raptors are less sloppy, than what they had been, I think they'll be okay in this spot. So I'm going to take the Raptors -2.5.
Yeah, Cleveland 1-5 against the spread, last 6 at Toronto. For me, I look at the series history a little bit in this one. 15-7 to the over, last 22 meetings. A reasonable number, one of the lowest totals on the board, if I'm not mistaken, at 214. It is the lowest total on the board. Yeah, people think with Cleveland, with Mobley, that they have the, better defense. Toronto has always kind of relied on its defense a little bit, but 8 of the last 11 at Toronto in the series have gone over as well, and I'm going to go over 214 as my free pick in the Cleveland-Toronto game. Mindy has Toronto. All right, the Rockets and the Hawks in this one, and the Hawks, big favorite here. Maybe it's down now. I'm showing 9.5, and the total is 233.
Yeah, I think that was too tough for me here. I'm going to look to the total. The over is 5-1 in the last 6 meetings. Over is 6-1 in the Rockets' last 7 overall. I think the Rockets here are an improved team on the offensive side. I'm going to go over that total of 233.
All right. Mindy goes over 233 in that one. For me, I'm probably going to look to Atlanta. They're 4-1 in the last 5 meetings against the number. I do like their lineup better with Young and Capella, Murray in there. And Houston, maybe that lineup is improved, but what they really didn't have much last year. So I obviously, near double-digit spread. Houston is not going to be expected to necessarily compete. I think it could be hanging within the number. This one's one of the tougher games for me. Crush mentioned the last
Right.
one being tough, but for me, I'm going to lay the 9.5 points with Atlanta here as my free pick.
Sounds good.
Bulls and Heat. Don't forget about this one. The Heat favored in this one by 7 now, and the total is 216.
Yeah, the Heat, they're 8-2 in their last 10, versus Chicago. But it's a new season with DeRozan. He had a really nice year last year. I look at him to get some more, depth in the, shooting help here this season as well with the players that they picked up in the offseason. Miami's always in that bottom half of scoring also because of that really slow pace of play that they have there also. I know that the Bulls need to step this one up, defensively here, but I do like the Bulls getting, this many points here today. I'm going to take the Bulls.
I do too, Mindy. I like the Bulls getting the points here, and the series itself has gone over. So I know what you're saying about Miami's pace, but 5 of the last 6 meetings have gone over, including 4 of the last 5 here. I think that a higher pace can help guys like DeMar and Zach. Zach LaVine have stronger games, and certainly I think with Miami they've done well against Chicago. They've covered the last 4, but Butler, Martin, I think I like them to be able to score. So I think getting the points, however, I do like that. Again, I think monster games. I think DeRozan and LaVine could have good games here. So let's have a consensus play with the Bulls getting 7 points as I pump that up there at the end.
That's right.
Again, I think mostly 7s I'm seeing right now. So we'll take it.
All right.
All right, 3 out of the 7 so far.
We're cruising.
An agreement on. All right. The Hornets and the Spurs in this one. The Hornets on the road. It's down to a pick 'em, Mindy. Totals dropped to 224.
Yeah, both of these teams, they seem to kind of be in this rebuilding mode. Both teams without key guys here, on the roster. I'm going to look to the total here. The under is 8-3 in the last 11 in San Antonio, 5-2 in the Hornets' last 7. 4-1 for the Spurs in their last 5 home games. Then it also has this fun stat of 6-2 in its last 8 Wednesday games, even though I don't think this one necessarily counts because it is the first game of the year for them. But yeah, I'm going to go ahead and lean to the under.
All right, Mindy goes under 224. That one has been dropping drastically, really, from an early number of 231.5. Now the general opener was just 226.5, so just really 2.5 points off of that. But the line well before last week was as high as 231. Maybe because look, I like the Spurs lineup. I think I want to start to get on Pop a little bit here in a situation like this, maybe with, Keldon Johnson. We saw what he was doing late last year. I think Trey Jones. I think uh, Podol is the center. Uh, I like them here. Now look for Charlotte. Um, I don't know, Rozier, uh, PJ Washington. These guys don't excite me too much in this one. So I'm losing value rapidly. Could have had 3 points. I'm going to take as a free pick here. I'm going to go with San Antonio as my free pick on the show. And Mindy's got the under 224 Hornets and Spurs. All right, Thunder and the Timberwolves. This one's down to 10 now. Maybe some action on the Thunder. We know they were pretty decent covering these big numbers last year. Minnesota getting a lot of respect. Are they getting your respect?
Yeah, I mean, that's what I was going to talk about, right? I mean, I like the Thunder, in this spot. Minnesota won all 4 last season, but again, they don't cover the spread. OKC covered 66% of its road games and was second best against the spread overall, covering 61.5. So again, I think this one should be a single digit game. I'm going to take the Thunder plus the 10.
I think I'm gonna have to agree with you. I'm gonna have to agree with you on this one. It's kind of close for me, actually, but yeah, I mean, I don't want to be laying double digits here. I don't see any reason for that. Kind of like the over because it's dropped about 5 points off the very early look ahead line. But I think with SGA, with Josh Giddey, look, Minnesota's getting a lot of attention. Edwards and Gobert. I get it. Maybe Minnesota is going to be continue to look decent here. And Crush says Thunder always covers.
Right?
Okay. So let's take it. Let's take it because
we could just bet on the Thunder all season and make money.
we'll see. We shall see. But Thunder getting 10, and Crush says take Thunder. I'm going to go on the Thunder, and so is Mindy. That gives us a consensus play, and Crush is on it with us. 3-way consensus. All right. Nuggets and Jazz, and the Nuggets here laying 7 now on the road. And this total's gone up. We're seeing it go up. Now Nuggets 7, 223, up 2 points in the last couple of hours since the opens.
Yeah, I mean, Utah won all 4 last season, but the Nuggets, they look to be really healthy. And there's that Utah roster that's just kind of not. And they're also, had a lot of change up here in the off season. I think they're going to have maybe trouble here, scoring. They lost 3 of their last 4 top scorers. I think Denver is going to be legit. I'm going to take the Nuggets in this one.
All right. I'm going to look, I think, to the under in this game with Denver and Utah. Look, Utah, obviously, the storyline for them is,
Right.
they've gutted the situation, but they're still Utah, right? How are they going to form together as a team? To me, Utah, they're going to have to try to play that Utah brand of tempo and defense. I think no matter who they end up throwing out there, Markkanen, Conley, right, Sexton. So I think I will go with the under in this game. Utah's done pretty well against Denver, so I have my concerns there about laying those points with Denver. But again, right now, for Utah, they're just going to have to prove themselves. Again, maybe look, they got rid of
Yeah, so it should be a good one.
they got rid of Mitchell, but maybe he was one of those. Everybody says, this guy was one of the worst defensive players out there as far as the elite players are concerned, the all-stars, right? So maybe when you make moves like that, you're actually helping the team. But again, where are they going to get the production? I mentioned those guys, but from there, where are they going to get it. So we have a Mindy on Denver, and I'm on the under in Denver and
Right.
Utah. Yep. All right. Next up, we've got the Mavs going up against the Suns, and the Suns are a 4.5-point favorite. Total drop at half a point, 216.
Yeah, I mean, the Suns had the best record here last season, but looking for revenge versus these Mavericks that eliminated them last season. Almost everyone is back, for each of these teams. I'm going to go ahead and look towards the over just because we have the core team basically from last year. So it should be, no hangups here in this one. It's 4-1 to the over in the last 5 games. 10-4 in the last 14 road games to the over. It's also 4-1 in the last 5 in Phoenix. I'll take the over.
Yeah, I don't know if I necessarily have a problem with that. But for me, I think I'm going to end up taking Phoenix in this one. Booker, Ayton, I think they'll have a nice game. So I don't know. Look, Luka. He might. If I had to pick one guy who's going to have the best game out of everybody in the league tomorrow,
We're going to write it down. Luka.
It's going to be Luka. Yeah, I don't know if that means play his props over or whatever, but I think when it comes down to saying who had the most points tomorrow might be Luka. So maybe that does help, especially as look at the total is one of the lower totals at 216. All the totals are 214 or higher up to about. There's some that are out of control like that Rockets game. Not sure where the Rockets points are going to come from. But anyways, Phoenix 10-4 against the spread against Dallas the last 14. I'm going to take Phoenix as my free play. Mindy's got the over in Dallas and Phoenix. I might get on that now, though. Yeah, I should have maybe looked at that more closely now that you mention it, because I think Luka probably going to have a big game. All right, Trailblazers and Kings are going to wrap us up. A 12-game card we've talked about here.
We're doing pretty good. Faster than maybe I, thought, because I didn't want to keep, folks here for, 2 hours kind of thing. Trailblazers, they need a bunch of defense this season. And the Kings are, hopefully trying to, stop that playoff drought. Might get there eventually. Kings scored a bunch of points here in the preseason, went undefeated. Sacramento one's heads up last season, while the Blazers look to have another, really nice backcourt. I'm going to look to the total, though. I just think there's going to be, lights out scoring here. Overs 4-1 the last 5 meetings, head to head. 5-1 in the Kings' last 6. I'll take the over.
Yeah, and I didn't mean to, but we're going to be laying a big number together here. Nothing we could do. I mean, I had it 226.5 on screen. If you can get it anything lower right now, to our viewers, please do so. This one doesn't seem like it's going to go down any. It opened as low as 224 in the early look aheads, and I'm showing a lot of 229s out there now. And well, Mindy, I like it. I mean, I like it to go over. You mentioned 4 of the last 5 meetings. I mean, I've got probably Josh Hart and Nurkic doing it for Portland, and Sabonis, Fox, Chimezie Metu also for Sacramento. So look, that's a big number. We're paying a penalty there for, I don't know about waiting so long. I mean, it's 12 hours before the game starts, but it's 229 right now, and we're on a consensus play here. Portland, Sacramento over tonight. 5. We got 5.
5. So we got Pacers +1, Pelicans, Nets over 230.5, Bulls +7, Thunder +10, Kings, Blazers over 229.
All right. Well, I mean, 12-game card, 5 plays. That sounds pretty good.
Right.
Sounds like a lot of action. So, folks, again, if you ever miss our consensus plays or don't see the show, you can go over to Tony'sPicks.com and pick them up as part of a package. Just log on, hit the All Cappers tab, find Morning Steam. You'll see the rates right there. And well, we're producing right now, so let's keep it up in the NBA. We'll move on to another sport, hockey. Going to go into hockey now. There's just 3 games in the NHL tonight after a pretty busy card. Certainly last night, Mindy, the 3 games. Let's start it off. We're talking about the Red Hot Philadelphia Flyers of all things. Who would have thought? Uh, Other than Flyers fans, eternal optimists until the losing streak hits. Uh, but right now, Philly looking good. Wow, and they've got. I'll call up the goalies, make sure we got here, but uh, still Florida a huge favorite. I am just trying to sell you on Philly just because they're. I don't know. They're kind of one of the stories so far of the league.
Yeah, I mean, the Flyers, they're on that hot streak. Winners of the last 3. They scored 11 goals in that time frame. They're also only allowing 2 goals in each of, their 3 games there. Panthers actually ranked 21st in scoring, 13th in goals against, 21st in shooting percentage, 21st in power play. So not necessarily off to that, great start that we might have thought here. I don't think this necessarily means that they won't win this one, but I like the Flyers here to stay close. I'll take them at puck line plus 1.5. Go Flyers.
Yeah, I mean, I love when the Flyers do start to, go bad because when they do, they start to go bad for a while, and you can kind of ride them. But look, this series is usually pretty steady under series. 21 of the last 32 have gone under, and I think that's the way I would look today. I thought the line would actually be a little bit higher, and I was going to come in with a premium.
Oh yeah.
And I don't want to know. I don't want to take Florida, and I'm not sure I can. I'm not buying into the Flyers yet. I like it. Whatever the Flyers are doing well, I do like that. But I'm going to go under in this one with Philadelphia and Florida. I think people might think it could be high score, but look at that total, just 6.5 over 15. I actually had it at 6.5 over 25, so I'm not getting the best price here. Yeah, I'm not getting the best price here. I did see that even touch some juice down sevens early on, but I'm going to go under 6.5, and Mindy is on Flyers puck line. And I did say I was going to check the goalies, but run a little slow here on computer number 4. What's going on?
Buffering, Ramon is buffering.
Yeah, I think I'm buffering is what's going on. Okay, Winnipeg and Colorado. This is Hellebuck and Georgia, I guess. That's what I'm showing. Just again, none of these goalies are going to be confirmed yet at this time, but just going with the probables here. But you do have Colorado about up to 220, 6.5 over 15.
Yeah, I mean, I bet on the Jets a couple times, this season. Sometimes it's bit me. But yeah, I mean, Jets are off to a nice start. I think they look improved. But yet you have this Avalanche team. They're just really good as well, right? I mean, I kind of maybe didn't give them enough credit versus the Wild, that sort of thing. They're putting up tons of goals. But the Jets defense, I just think they're playing well. I think they're playing well enough to be able to keep it close. Each of these goalies only given up, 2.5 goals per game. Jets are 4th in goals against and 12th in kill percentage. Again, I'm going to give the Jets benefit of the doubt here today. I'm going to take them on the puck line as well.
All right, yeah, a puck line plus 1.5 minus 135 or so. And I don't know, I mentioned on the last one, Mindy, the Flyers puck line, they were plus money on that plus 1.5. I'm showing about, maybe even higher than that, plus 110. I'm showing it at some books. So you got a good price there, certainly. But for me, I'm concerned about some of those goalie stats you called out, because I do want to go over in this game as my free pick. Just more based on series history. 4 of the last 5 meetings have gone over, including 4 of the last 5. I should say, as well as 4 of the last 5 at Colorado. It looks like the champs might be getting rolling here early on after, maybe they weren't perfect, but I'm going to go over in Winnipeg and Colorado, the 6.5. Mindy's on Jets on the puck line. All right, Mindy's got her Kraken hat on today, and the Kraken are going to be hosting St. Louis in this one. And we get to see Bennington. No, St. Louis, they've had 1 game so far. Mindy and Seattle's had 4 games so far. We kind of joked about the scheduling, but that's no big deal. And St. Louis here, they're down to $1.20, and the total's down to 6.
Interesting, right? I mean, the Blues, they started off the season with, that 5-goal game over the Krakens. I mean, not versus the Kraken. But the Kraken, they basically have given up 4 goals here per game also. Kraken, they're, 11th in goals for. They do have a nice power play percentage. But I think this is going to be a big over game. Little defense here. Expect a lot of goals here by St. Louis. I'm not necessarily concerned with, I don't really see why that money line keeps going down, basically. But
Yeah, no,
anyway,
I mean, that bothers me too. And it looks like sharp action on Seattle, but I'm
yeah,
not
I'm
buying
not
it.
sure why. What does Seattle? What have they shown you this season? That they're going to compete here with the Blues tonight. But again, my pick is going to be the over. The over is 5-1. The Blues last 6. The over is 4-0 in the last 5 for the Kraken. I mean, obviously they think Vegas thinks that Seattle's going to be able to score some here. So yeah, I'm going to look at the over total.
Yeah, yeah, I agree with you. They think they're going to be able to score some because of the line move, but look at how the total has dropped, and I don't buy that one either necessarily in this one because I think it's St. Louis that could end up getting those goals, and I think we could be looking at a 4-3 game easy here. I think in this one, Mindy. Now, may go Seattle's way or whatever. I like St. Louis in the game, but I want to go a premium with you because I think now it's 6. I mean, it's a flat. It's okay. It's 6 under 15 now at some places, but it's not 6.5. And those 6.5s were juiced to the under. So it's been almost a full goal move in this one. So we're getting a great price, I think, to go over. In this one. So let's have our one consensus hockey play on the over in St. Louis and Seattle.
Cool.
All right, great to have your comments in the chat in there as well. We were talking about the Bruins game, I think, is what they were saying there, right, Mindy? And we talked about that one yesterday. I did end up giving out the Bruins in that one. That was a
And I
wild
had the
one.
Bruins on a premium pick myself. And so, yeah, I was, I don't know why the Bruins were the underdog either, like why Ottawa is minus 140, but obviously they showed, Bruins goal was not so hot yesterday.
Yeah. Well,
All he needed to do really is put his pads on the ice and he would have stopped about 5 of those.
Ottawa definitely got steamed heavy in that game, and I had a premium on the over. So
Yes, you did. That's right.
I
And
won
I'm
that
like,
one. I just
over in the
kind
first
of
5
stopped paying
minutes.
attention to that game because everything else was getting pretty exciting. Kind of put it in the win column a little bit. Oh, you know. And Timmy's into today.
Okay. Bruins total over. Team total.
Nice to see James here with us as well. Welcome everybody. All right, we're gonna do a few more football games here to wrap up the show. And yeah, we maybe we're gonna do should have done a Mac show. We should have Maction
The Maction.
as we get started. Doing Buffalo will start us off. Got several Mac games. We're gonna do 7 games, and these are starting times. If I'm not mistaken here, I'll just bring them up. But there's the line anyway, Mindy, for our first game. Toledo and Buffalo, and these games are starting at 1 Pacific, 10 Eastern, and noon Central. And this is I don't know, out of all the games we're doing, with all due respect to maybe 2 of the games, but this is the MAC game of the year right now so far.
The Mac attack. Yeah, I mean, Toledo defeated Kent State in their last game. It was a high scorer, 52-31 for their 3rd straight win. Buffalo beat up on UMass 34-7, which we kind of all expected for their 4th straight win, covering the spread there. I kind of think Buffalo here, they kind of have the better defense. They only allow 7 points in their last 2 games here. Toledo, on the other hand, allowed 31. Buffalo 4-0-1 against the spread in the last 5 games overall versus Toledo. I'm going to take Buffalo in the points, Ramon.
Well, Mindy, everyone's on Buffalo, and so am I. We're going to be on Buffalo. Look, I think I did. I think I did okay running that Toledo streak a little bit. Through their success so far. I think I've fared pretty well backing them, touting their defense. Yeah, I went a little haywire for them last time, and I don't think they should be, a touchdown favorite here in this big game, right? I mean, these are division leaders. Yeah, I mean, Toledo's won and covered now 3 straight, but Buffalo's covered 5 straight, and they've also covered 6 out of the last 7 against Toledo. Buffalo 1-7 to the under off of a straight up win. That interests me as well, but getting a touchdown at home, just check the line here, see if we can get. Yeah, we're getting 7. Total's down to 57, but it's got to be a consensus play, Mindy. I like Buffalo.
Let's do it.
I did well riding Toledo, but Buffalo's got it going together, going again all of a sudden. I mentioned those trends in the series. They haven't met since before the pandemic was the last meeting, 2019. So, and that'll be the same.
Okay.
For this matchup. Bowling Green and Central Michigan also last met in 2019. Here you have Central Michigan 6.5, 50.5.
Yeah, I mean, again, it's going to come down to who has the better defense. I don't know if that's kind of the theme overall. I don't see most of these teams just going lights out here with Bowling Green, Central Michigan via the pass here. Central Michigan, they're 5-0 against the spread their last 5 games following that straight up win. I think Central Michigan here can cover by a touchdown. Just beat up Akron 28-21, and I think Akron. I think they're pretty decent this year. I'm going to take Central Michigan, even though I know Ramon likes Bowling Green.
Well, I mean, I've been partial to Bowling Green. Look, they're tied for second in the MAC East. I think they've overachieved. I think I hit with my prognostication on Bowling Green. But, I mean, come on, Central Michigan's got that good running game. Even though Nichols missed the game last week, and then his backup broke his wrist. But I don't think it matters. The way it's their offensive line, runs the ball and everything. And I think that they control the game and the clock. 6 of the last 7 meetings have gone under, including 4 straight here. Central Michigan has gone under in 5 straight. I'm going to go under in this one as my free pick. And Mindy is on Central Michigan laying that 6.5, laying a pretty good price too. That opened 8. So.
I'm not scared, Ramon. Not scared.
Good value there for Mindy. Yep. More action here with Northern Illinois and Ohio. Northern Illinois is a 3-point favorite, 65.5.
Yeah, Northern Illinois' last game, 39-10, one-sided victory over Eastern Michigan. Ohio beat Western Michigan pretty handily, 33-14. Each of these
5 interceptions.
Yeah, right. I mean, each of these teams, I think they score equally, right? So again, that's what I'm saying today. I feel like these are kind of come down to who's going to play the better defense. But they're each allowing just a ton of points out here. But if I look at, NIU, they've done very good this year in third down efficiency. They're ranked 48th in the nation. The road team is 5-0 against the spread the last 5 meetings between these two teams. I'm going to take Northern Illinois, even though I think Ohio's no one that you really want to mess with here this year.
Yeah, should I mentioned those 5 interceptions, and your favorite quarterback is back this week. He returned last week, Lombardi, for Northern Illinois. I think maybe that's why we've seen kind of the move come in on Northern Illinois there. So, yeah, I don't necessarily disagree with that, but boy, I don't know, those 5 interceptions kind of stood out for me. The teams are combined 11-3 to the over this season. Boy, it seems like it's going to be a high scoring game, man. Yeah, boy. I'm gonna take Ohio. I'm gonna go against you here. I think now at a field goal.
Challenge, Ramon.
It's going to be wild. I don't know what, that's going to be a crazy game. I think you can always see where I'm going with this game. I mean, I think,
Points might differ.
66, Mindy, that might be about 10 points too low. 65.5, put another 10 on that, and maybe we'll be talking. Here's the thing, though, closer games sometimes, like I said, closer games sometimes have a tendency to go under because one team isn't blowing another one out. It's really got to be a wild one, but these two have played some wild ones this year. So, all right, we're going opposite there. All right, next up, we're more MAC ball here. Eastern Michigan and ball. Ball favored in this one by 2.5. Total 59. 59 now.
Yeah, my best friend in high school played softball at Ball State. I know that everyone cares about that, but I thought I'd throw that in there. Eastern Michigan, they were blown out in their last game versus Northern Illinois, 39-10. Ball State coming off a 3-game win streak, 25-21 win over UConn. UConn, I mean, what, showing some strength here as of late? I mean, what's going on? Ball State, they averaged 405 yards of offense. Eastern Michigan, 360. On defense, Ball State has the advantage here as well. They give up, 28 points a game. Eastern Michigan is about 32. I like Ball State at home. They're 3-1 at home this year. So I'll take them to win and cover.
Yeah, I think for me, I'm going to look to this game maybe to go over with these two teams. They've gone 6-0 the last 6 meetings at Ball, and 13 of the last 16 meetings have gone over between Eastern Michigan and Ball. Ball bothers me that they're 0-4 against the spread against teams above 500, and Eastern Michigan has covered the last 4 trips into Ball. So Mindy's going to take Ball -3, but I'm going to be on the over, and I'm getting a crummy number there, 15 at.
Go get him, Ramon. Go get him.
Yeah, well, hey, it's going up. What can I say?
Yeah, get it now.
Get it now and go over as my free pick in that one. All right, that was some weird matchup here.
I was like, I don't have this one. Did I miss it?
Maybe I'm out of order.
Ramon.
Okay, we'll
you might
it.
have to go ahead and I don't have any,
we'll
official stats here on this one. So
no problem. We can save it. Let's save it for our next show. UNLV.
It was a 1:30 year. I just
missed it. Well, because it's such a weird matchup. Come on, how is UNLV playing Notre Dame? Okay, let's how about this one?
So next time we'll put it in.
Yeah, I think that'll be fine.
Yeah, sorry about that.
Okay, but I think right after Rice and Louisiana Tech. Well, I surprised you with these games. I mean,
Well, I know, but I was like, how did I miss that one? Because you're like, that's one of the better ones in this time slot that we were doing.
Well, I say better, but I mean, is it really better? But we'll talk about it.
How about more well known, perhaps?
It's just weird, and it's Notre Dame Saturday national TV game, right?
Right.
And UNLV, is obviously on a payday game, but I don't know. It's a peculiar situation. So okay, we'll get into that later. But let's go to Rice and Louisiana Tech. Rice. Is Rice going to go to a bowl game? What's going on here? They're favored on the road by 3.5 against Louisiana Tech. Rice, one of the best stories.
I know, it's crazy. I think we've been on Rice like the last 2 weeks, and it's just been a real surpriser. So I feel like, why should I go against Rice right now? When they're hot. But I know Rice did lose that that close one to FAU. But La Tech, they were blown out by North Texas, 27-47. The big difference, I think, is, again, the defensive side of the ball. Tech allows almost 40 points a game. Rice only 28. Rice is 5-2 in their last 7 games against the spread, and 5-0 against the spread in their last October games, last 5 overall. I'm going to take Rice here in this one.
Rice. I mean, I'm on Rice. They've never, we got to keep rolling with them the way I see it. I mean, they're 5-1 against the spread, right? They've covered 4 straight, I think. So
yeah,
I just touted them to go to a bowl. So Rice goes good with veggies in a bowl. Last I checked. I mean, look, these teams are combined 10-2 to the over, because you mentioned Louisiana Tech's bad defense and what Rice is up to. But don't be surprised if Rice Trying
Gets
to
those
hold
5
them
6
down,
wins.
right? They might be able to hold them down a little bit, especially with that total approaching. Well, look at that. I think that's interesting. It's all the way down to 57 now, and the total was as high as 60 and a half. The fact that the teams have, combined to go 10-2 to the over, but the totals dropped 3.5 points to me signals that maybe Rice is bringing some defense too.
Is those
So
flashing lights happening?
no, we're going on Rice. We're
You're
going
right.
on Rice. I don't know. I don't know.
You're
If I
like, I still see, a little trend there. Yeah.
Yeah. Again, I'm bucking a trend that I don't really 11-3 to the over this year with the two teams, but I wanted to go under anyways. So I'm just gonna have to,
Kind of heading
you know,
that way. Yeah.
yeah, take a little and right. No, right. How do the Rice play? Rice doesn't play very well. This is like an anomaly right now. What's going on right now? It's kind of a big deal, especially if Rice can go to a bowl. That'd be amazing.
Yeah.
All right, West Virginia and Texas Tech here. Uh, West Virginia, they're an underdog in this one. This one's gone way up, Mindy, to 7. Texas Tech was favored by 4, but now everybody talks about West Virginia injuries coming in, some big time injuries apparently heading into this one. Really playing right into the strengths of Texas Tech and their high-powered passing game. So I think that's why we're seeing this move. But interestingly, it's been the total that's moved as well down to 6. I'm now showing it 65.5, down from that big opener of 72. Now, look, I know the perception is West Virginia, Texas Tech, Big 12, wild shootout. But again, I'm not sure. I'm not sure what to make of it. It's going to take some more assessment. I do have a handicap for the game now, but might be just on. Let's see what you have to say first.
Yeah, I mean, West Virginia, they did win that game, versus Baylor. The only reason why I was on West Virginia in that one was solely because they were in Morgantown, and they just don't lose there because Baylor was by far the better scoring, efficient team offensively and defensively. Honestly, if that was played at Baylor, I think that game would have been over at halftime here. And then Tech, they lost on the road to Oklahoma State 31-41. They're a totally different team on the road than they are at home. They're 3-0 at home. They've beaten 2 ranked opponents at home, Texas and Houston. They featured that 4th ranked offense of passing yardage per game at 365. West Virginia here, they're 2-5 against the spread in their last 7 conference games, 1-4 against the spread their last 5, allowing a win, while Texas Tech is 5-0 in their last 5 games following a loss. The pick here is the home team to win and cover.
Okay. Yeah. Again, they've been talking about the West Virginia secondary, the injuries there, just playing right into the strengths of what this Texas Tech team is doing. But the number, it's, the funny thing is, I really wanted to go under the big number. I mean, man, I'm totally missing out here. Still going to go under. Now it's 65.5. I mean, I'm totally getting the worst of it. Opened as high as 72. Look ahead.
Yeah, that's a lot.
69 was the general. Right. Right. I'm giving a whole touchdown away, and I know some other people on our channel are on the over. I know that Texas Tech 5-1 to the over. The teams have combined to go 9-3 to the over, but Texas Tech 7-1 against the spread off a win. You said that doesn't. I don't know about laying that many points. I think that's what bothers me about wanting to jump on board with you there. And man, I really liked under the big number. I'm getting the worst of it here. I'm going under. Mindy's going on Texas Tech. Okay, that's a look at our college football for today. We're going to come back with more games tomorrow. Well, tomorrow NFL. We're going to look at NFL tomorrow because we've got
already.
The early games plus the Thursday nighter between New Orleans and Arizona. So we're going to look at that, and we'll also look at the 7 early games for Sunday. We probably could throw in a little college football in there tomorrow too, I'm thinking.
At least one game.
Everybody head on over to our website, Tony'sPicks.com. Look at everybody who crushed the board yesterday. Click on the All Cappers tab to get signed up. You'll find all of our handicappers over there who's done well over the past 7 days, including our morning's team consensus picks. You can pick those up each and every day if you miss our show. Look at the numbers, Mindy. Last 7 days, we're up
Good.
622. So we're producing there. So hopefully these plays. By the way, we did come to a consensus in college on one game today, right? The Buffalo Bulls were our one college play. So again, we've already had several. You can go back to the show yesterday where we had a bunch of consensus plays in college football. I believe it was a 3-pack there. So you can get all of our plays there on the morning steam. You can subscribe to them. That way, if you miss our show, you can still get Mindy and I our selections for those cards. So, all right, Mindy, good job. Good show. Hope I'm not missing anything here because of all the event. Okay, how about this? There is a soccer card today, especially English Premier League, and on Tony's Picks YouTube channel. Paul Lagaretos joined Tony yesterday to preview, I believe, those games. And so if you want some soccer picks for today, you can go to Tony's Picks YouTube channel. And there's already the handicaps up there for today's games that were from yesterday. So they were good and tackled those games. So, all right, we'll be back tomorrow, Mindy. We did a nice job here, 75 minutes on the morning steam. Great job. Appreciate you. And well, let's kill it. We got we ended up with a pretty big card.
Yeah, we did. And I think we had agreed with Buffalo +7 and Rice -3.5. Right?
Oh, yes.
Okay. Just want to make sure we got that. Just
yes,
cleared up.
Rice.
But what we got? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 games tonight. Awesome. Get yourselves a 7-pack of the morning steam guaranteed plays.
All right. So, no doubt will. All right. Thanks a lot. Great job, Mindy. For Mindy Hahn, I'm Ramon Scott. Thank you for joining us.